Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. We're talking about the finale, the new Next Generation on Lower Decks. I wish that I had been sitting in on the production meeting when they outlined this episode. How do you draw everything together in a single episode that has happened during the season and during quite a few others? And so they managed to do that. There is a certain situation where they find themselves having to deal with another rift, a falling in with a group of renegade Klingons, and a problem with Rutherford. And they take this and they tie together almost all of the other elements with that's been happening in this season, and how it came out was fewer jokes, but a very effective story. And one of the things that really impressed me, one of the small things, was the warp effect. They had a warp effect where they show the field going around the ship before it warps out of the picture, which is the first time they've ever done that in anything. And I thought, why hadn't they thought of that before? That's a perfectly good effect and something that outlines how the warp system works. I mean, for those of us total nerds that like to see how the technology actually works. And we see how the co-science officers work out. We see more of Admiral Freeman. We see more of some other familiar things as we go on. And in the cliffhanger where the alternate dimension Boimler is communicating a message to our Boimler, they take it to Captain Freeman. Captain Freeman takes it to Starfleet, and the Cerritos becomes kind of the vanguard of what they're going to do to handle this rift. They're the closest starship with it. There is this situation with the two Boimlers, and there are a number of complications that happen in between because it couldn't be straightforward. But they find that while they are somewhat of a ragtag crew, they're able to pull together and make it work when the chips are down. And wow, doesn't that say a lot about this whole series? This whole series of series, this whole canon of Star Trek, that when you get a group of people of different talents all together working on the same thing, you always succeed. Now, in the real world, does that work? No. But in here, it certainly is something that you would want to aspire to. And I find that very encouraging. I'm going to miss this crew, this group of not quite misfits, but certainly not your standard Galaxy-class starship types. I have to say that I love the way that it ended. It ended the way that I might have done, given the setup that they had in the very end of the episode. What were they going to do with the crew after this? And I think that it's clever, including the final line of the show, of the season, of the series. I hope one day that they have some reason to bring it back. Don't know if they ever will. Depends on just what the economics of streaming going forward are going to be. But I think it's worth something. And it's a shame that this show has really had only the hardcore Trekkers watching it, because I think that anybody would have enjoyed it, even without knowing all of the inside jokes that they were doing. It was entertaining and adventurous and clever. And they could do so much more than you could do in any live action thing. The special effects budget would have had to have been through the roof in order to do half of the things that were done in this episode. But rather than the most expensive special effects in order to do things like this, all they had to do was draw it and they could make it happen. And that's the magic of this whole thing. So I hope you enjoyed the series as much as I did. I will miss it. But in the meantime, we do have, in the middle of January, we're going to have the Section 31 TV movie coming on. Sooner or later, we will have the Strange New Worlds coming back. Sooner or later, we will see something of Starfleet Academy. But for now, we're looking forward to the Doctor Who special. There are two of them, actually. One of them is on Christmas Eve, which is going to be War Games. This is the last multi-part episode starring David Troughton, and it's colorized and condensed into 90 minutes, so a lot of the repetitious elements and unnecessarily filler things will be taken out, but will be a good watch. And then, of course, on Christmas Day, we will have the Joy to the World, and that should be one of the things that we will be talking about just right after Christmas. So that's what we have planned. We're not going to be doing any other reviews for the next 2 weeks other than the Doctor Who things. And then we'll be back on the week of the 6th of January and go back into our regular run of things. So I hope you have the best of holiday seasons. No matter what it is that you're celebrating, please have a happy and a safe one. And until then, don't go far.